Namaste, namaskar, Kristina is here. So actually we didn't plan to do any recording today at Kumbh Mela, and we didn't plan to do any vlogging today, but the news and the situation requires, and I felt it necessary to share my opinion on the situation, because me as well as many of you guys who follows me, especially beautiful people from India, from Bharat, I think we all woke up today with a bad news that Kumbh Mela has suffered like a panic, and people were dead and strongly injured. So now for this situation in the evening, it's officially reported about 30 deaths and about 60 people seriously injured. So first of all, I want to wish condolences to the families of the people who lost their loved ones, and that's absolutely horrible situation, to die at such a holy place for the good reason, for the good belief. That's why I wish a lot of strength to the families who, of course, has a strong loss, and of course also to wish the ones who are now in hospitals a speedy recovery and a lot of health, and hopefully their number of death cases will not grow anymore, but still it's not clear what is the final picture, because we know based on the official reports, but I don't know if this is really official reports reflecting the true situation there, because my observation of the social media and what we have seen in the place of the accident, like, you know, felt bags, chapels, clothes, stuff like that, how many people were running and basically stepping over the people who were sleeping on the bank of the river. So I mean, that's all absolutely no go, and I personally have quite some questions to Mr. Prime Minister Modi, with all the respect to him, because I do like him personally as a leader of the nation, as a prime minister, but I still have a lot of questions. But first, I just created very simple editing today, guys, to show you about the security setup at Kumbh Mela. Yeah, definitely this video were recorded not today, but a few days before. But I had a chance to record how the hospital looks like in Kumbh Mela, how the security guards, cordons and bench, how it all works. And plus, at the end of this video, I will share my opinion on the situation and also my impression overall on me being in the middle of the crowd, and my impression on the security setup for such a huge event, and on organizational moments and so on. So stay tuned, and please take care of yourself, and let's all hope that this will not be repeated again. Om Namah Shivaya. Medical center of Kumbh Mela festival, so all sponsored by government, organized and sponsored by local Prayagraj administration office, plus also of course Prime Minister Modi is everywhere here, so he is also a big sponsor of this Kumbh Mela event. So that's how it looks like, really very, very, very big tent, actually a couple of tents, different ambulances, therapy, and all kind of doctors you can find here. Really, we went there, like everything here. We have gynecologist, physio, pediatric, and some other stuff. So all very well organized. They're now cleaning up everything inside to be ready to host and welcome patients in case of emergency and in case of any need. So very good organization. I really feel I feel good. Yeah. So this is basically the hospital. Looks like that.
Okay, it's quite dark here, but okay. It's like a waiting hall where they clean up everything. They prepare. Like this is like registration office. Here also some administrative. Basically, actually, Kumbh Mela creates a lot of working places for people from different castes, from different social groups. So you see, very always friendly, always friendly. Om Namah Shivaya. So here, basically, they help do some emergency help and some rooms here to show different to help in different ways. Some small medical rooms with some medical equipment here. So everything looks quite good, and they are establishing this here. OPD, Rebal and so you see blood pressure device. So namaste. Pediatric OPD. Pediatric OPD. Namaste. Here, actually, it's very interesting. They show to kids how to brush the teeth. They teach them if they don't have the toothbrush, you can use it with a finger. So that was my experience about the hospital at Kumbh Mela. From my point of view, it's very well organized. And now I want to share my impression overall of the crowd situation, of the security setup, and controlling of this uncontrollable. It's already spoiler, but I think we all have seen it in our videos, also TV videos, that of course I would say the crowd is still uncontrollable, even with a lot of efforts from government to try to influence that and make it more organized and more controllable. So basically, if you want to enter the area, you have to go through the gates together with many people, because center of the city, Prayagraj, is blocked for 1.5 months of festival. Any vehicle is not allowed to enter, and it's a no vehicle area for 1.5 months, with exception of police, ambulance, and so on. And it makes sense because, it's really thousands and thousands, it's actually millions and millions of people. And of course, you are able to commute only by walking. And sometimes you have to go minimum like 3 to 4 kilometers from start of the Kumbh Mela, from these gates until the main area, the Kumbh, where exactly rivers intersecting each other and where people are staying, where the camp is located, and where people are dipping into Ganga River. So my impression so far, yes, we entered it many times. Luckily for us, all went very safe. But I can also speak for myself and for my experience. And of course, we haven't been there every day and every hour. I think situation can change because of the number of people and the overall circumstances and the situations. But let me share with you my overall feelings about the organization in there. Frankly speaking, overall, the Kumbh area, it's like empty field or empty piece of nature where two rivers intersecting each other. And 12 years, there is nothing. And after once in 12 years, the small town is built and assembled by the government. Honestly speaking, it's a lot of efforts. It's a big project. It's a big machine. The Kumbh, and once in 12 years, the government and administration of Uttar Pradesh, of Prayagraj city, they built from scratch the town. First of all, my attention brought to this electrification of the area, because all these lamps and electricity cables that was all built just for Kumbh Mela, just for this 1.5 months of festival, all this electrification. So you can see we were entering on the early morning, even before the sunrise, and everything is visible very good. And I can imagine how many efforts and expenses it is to invest in such a electrification of this event. Then you go further and you understand that, you know, with the time, crowd becomes even more and more intense. Yeah, sometimes it's less people, sometimes it's more, but you feel that the streets become narrower, and you basically entering the main area. And here I have noticed that yes, there is a structure. I have to say there is a structure from police, from the government, from the administration, that there are certain blockages, certain controlling people. There is constant voice notification, even though obviously in Hindi, so we had no clue what they are screaming all over the time. But they were constantly saying something. And of course, a lot of military officers are around, very well equipped with the modern guns, with weapons, and all the necessary equipment, clothes, with the sticks, and also even the cordon, the police on the horses. Yeah, so that was all present, all around. I have to say, with different also coordinators, not only police, but we have seen a lot of people in like orange jackets who are not police exactly, but they control and coordinate. I think I have learned that 15,000 people were hired only for the needs of the Kumbh Mela for the coordination activities. What was very interesting that also different gender policemen with also sticks. So that was also very interesting. They still use these sticks. I have seen them during Corona time in India on the news that they used it against the crowd. But basically, the most fearly part comes closer when you enter the river, because honestly speaking, I was not expecting it, because it was really a moment, it was really scary. I even recorded it, but I really felt like, oh my god, where we are going, because you understand that you are locked, you cannot move right, left, you are just completely blocked. And what happened to you, you don't know, because around people are, you know, sitting with the luggage, making fire, selling some stuff, selling water bottles, asking for money, worshipping, changing dresses after swimming. It's all here, it becomes super uncontrolled, because the main problem, and where I felt really scared, that there is no directional traffic. So in my point of view, next to the river, it should be like very good separation, who is going, let's say, straight, and who is returning back, because that was the most scary moment for me when we were entering the bench, the bank side of the river, in order to dip into Ganga, but people who already finished dipping, they were going opposite direction. And that was actually the most scary moment for me, because how could you even make it like this, that you don't separate the traffic, because that's how chaos and how panic can easily arise, because people just go in absolutely different directions, and there is no separations between these flows. So here I was really scared, and I even stopped recording, because it's just impossible. And people are swimming, changing clothes, taking pictures, trying to find their loved ones, because by the way 3G was not working, because of course in such a event with so many million people, 3G or 5G or 4G LTE, no internet connection. So there are like thousands of people who got separated at the Kumbh, and who basically lost their family members, and who could not reach out to them. Yeah, and of course it also happened with me and with my colleague in the Kumbh. We could not find each other, like one of the days, for 1.5 hours, being basically in one street and searching for each other 1.5 hours in one street. But it was not happening, because it's really too crowded. And Many people then refer to police and asking for help, because if you are lost and you don't have a phone connection or internet connection, there's nothing you can actually do. And what I want to say about the regulation of the dipping, so each river bank site is organized with people who coordinate it. And here you can see that each side of the river is actually very well strengthened with cement bags. But anyway, there are a lot of coordinators who control the swimming process, and they say something in the loudspeaker, but they are really not visible in the crowd. And even the policemen and army, they are just not visible with such a crowd. You see them, there are many, but once you go close to the river, you don't see any, because it's mostly tons of people, and it's really scary.
So, editing now these videos shortly, would like to say some words as a thinking out loud. So first of all, maybe to the people that guys follow the rules and the notifications and expectations of the government in the Kumbh, because unfortunately sometimes there is no opportunity for the step right or step back, and you have to simply follow the rules, because this horrible catastrophe has happened because, at least according to the official sources, people started to jump over the borders. Please don't jump over the borders. They are built for a certain meaning. And basically they jumped over the borders, and at this area for some other reasons, and here I have a questions to the police and to the government, people were sleeping in there. And basically this crowd broke the fence and started to jump, and panic and chaos appeared, and people who were sleeping on the ground ended up to be dead or heavily injured. But then the question, okay, who are these people who started to break the fence and jump over it? Because, if 2 people do that, then 200 follow. And then this situation is happening. And by the way, it was like between 1 and 2 a.m. So it was at the night when people were sleeping on the bank side. So the first question is, what the fuck, guys, are you doing? I'm sorry. Jumping over and creating this chaos. And who is responsible now for that? And the second question, how come people sleep in these areas? Then the question to the government, please organize the sleeping areas. I understand that the whole Ganga is occupied with the tents and people who is sleeping over there with the whole families, but then please make sure that they are safe. Make sure that they are secure, or not allow them to sleep in the area of intersection of rivers. Allow them to sleep a little bit outside of the main epicenter. Because, honestly speaking, before coming to this event, I learned a lot about this meaning of this, historical, religious, astrological meaning, political meaning, and so on. And I read a lot about these incidents in the past. But according to my research, that incidents and the crowds were not happening in the past couple of years or dozens of years, and I was thinking, okay, 21st century, and what makes me also very much questionable about the first of all advertisement of Mr. Modi. Everywhere around, every 20 meters, I see the picture of Modi in the Mahakumbh, advertising his great contribution to this Sangam. And then I seen even today in the reels, in Instagram and everywhere, how innovative is Kumbh Mela, that you have drones in the air, you have drones under the water, you have modern security cameras, face recognition. Man, it's like, honestly speaking, not connected to each other, why you say about the innovativeness and security and cameras and drones and traffic control tools. but I was witnessing it myself, and I think today's situation badly showed this, that the traffic control next to the river bank is not organized. The people are going to swim and people are going from swimming, and there is no separation between them, so people go like this, and that's just impossible. And that was really scary for me. And my main question there was, what the fuck, we have these posters everywhere with the prime minister. Once you cannot organize at least separation, okay, here people go in, here people go out. I understand it's not so easy for such an event, but then please, if you put yourself everywhere, every 20 meters on the Sangam, and I once again very much respect Mr. Modi, but make sure that the quality of organization is according with your status and your position. And why not to invest money from these banners into organizing some, I don't know, borders, fences, or whatever, to prevent mixing up the streams of the people, because that's the main problem. The chaos organizes when the streams and directions of the people intersecting without the control. And in my point of view, that's exactly what has happened. That's why, with all the respect to Mr. Modi and organization, and as I said in my video, it's a lot of investment, it's a lot of work, it's a hard work, but it's also the biggest event. And the whole world now is speaking about India. But today, unfortunately, or yesterday, it was speaking already about incidents at Kumbh Mela, which in my point of view should not happen in the 21st century in such an innovative event with so many security cameras, advertisement banners, and underwater drones, air drones, and so on. So if you claim like this, please be at the level you claim yourself to be. And once again, the message to people, please don't break the rules, don't break the fence, because you know what is a butterfly effect. You know, butterfly effect is when in one side of the world, butterfly just does like this and wings. On the other side of the world, the tsunami is happening or some catastrophe is happening. And that's what might happen if two people break the fence or jump over the fence, and then they basically trigger that others thinking, I can also do the shortcut or whatever. And then it's just uncontrollable, and there is no step right, left, straight or back, because you are blocked. And luckily if you stand on your legs, otherwise you are lying down and crowds of people just, stepping on you, and that's an end. And once again, please take care of your loved ones, don't break the rules, follow the instructions of the administration. Please make sure before you organize the sleeping area for yourself and your family, make sure this is a safe area. Make sure it's more far away from the main amount of people. And make sure that while you're asleep, no one will step on your head. Please stay safe. Once again, I wish a condolences to the people whom we lost yesterday. And also I wish a lot of power and strength to the family members and to the people who are now sick. And of course, a lot of strength also to the government, because unfortunately that's a bad sign which was spread today in all the news over the world about this incident. And that's the people's life is the most important what we have, and each people's life counts. And we should be inviting so many people, doing so much advertisement about this super innovative event. Please respect the needs of this crowd if you invite so many of them. I think that's all for today. Wish you a lot of health and stay tuned.